Korea Steel Power Corporation as a safety equipment manufacturer for the flammable and non-flammable storage tanks has pursued its only road since 1990 in South Korea. KSPC has designed and manufactured pressure vacuum relief valve, emergency relief valve, gauge hatch cover, end-tube blanketing device, slot dipping device, end-of-line flame arrestor for deflagration, inline flame arrestor for deflagration, and inline flame arrestor for detonation. When filling cycles of tanks, it causes pressure rising inside, and KSPC pressure vacuum relief valves gradually function to release overpressure for tank protection. It generates a pressure, and the tank will need to breathe in order to prevent implosion. As the tank pressure exceeds the set pressure point, the pressure disc, so-called pallet, lifts and vents pressure to the atmosphere or pipeline. When emptying cycles of tanks, it causes vacuum rising inside, and KSPC pressure vacuum relief valves gradually function to release over vacuum for tank protection. It generates a vacuum, and the tank will need to breathe in order to prevent implosion. As the tank vacuum exceeds the set vacuum point, the vacuum disc, so-called pallet, lifts and reduces vacuum from the atmosphere or via flame arrestor elements. The tanks also create overpressure and vacuum conditions resulting from thermal expansion and contraction of the liquid due to changes in ambient temperature. In case of an emergency fire, the tank is surrounded by flames, and it can cause the fluid inside the tank to vaporize. And finally, the pressure inside the tank can surge dramatically and rapidly exceed the flow capacity of normal relief valves. It generates a rapid pressure, and the tank will need to discharge rapidly in order to prevent implosion. As the emergency relief valve exceeds the set point, the cover lifts and rapidly discharges pressure to the atmosphere. When emptying cycles of tanks, it causes nitrogen insufficient, and KSPC nitrogen blanketing device functions to fill the empty space of the tank to reduce oxidation and product contamination. After filling the empty space of tanks, nitrogen blanketing device starts to close nitrogen supply by the pilot-operated diaphragm actuator. Flame arrestors fit to openings of enclosures or between the pipeline in order to allow flow but prevent flame transmission. Flame arrestors are placed as close as possible to a potential ignition source, or we can consider a detonation flame arrestor. There are two explosive mechanisms: deflagrations and detonations. A deflagration is where the flames are traveling at subsonic speeds. For a deflagration flame arrestor, its maximum installation length to ignition shall not exceed 50 times the diameter of the pipe, so-called 50D428 gas group. A detonation is a shock reaction where the flames travel at supersonic speeds. So, the detonation is louder and often more destructive than the deflagration. When the maximum installation length to ignition exceeds 50 times the diameter of the pipe, so-called 50D428 gas group, we can apply for the detonation flame arrestor. This chart shows how deflagration transits to detonation. We work for oil and gas, petrochemicals, biofuels, mining, pharmaceuticals, power generation, agrochemicals, distilleries and offshore plants.